Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode and segment of the Lake Elsinore Special. And unfortunately, we're back with another negative story. Now, allegedly, according to Blue News on Facebook, Candice Taylor Ferguson, who is a 30-year-old woman, accused an 18-year-old kid by the name of Elijah Daniels of rape and battery and assault and kidnapping. Now, allegedly, Daniels was having an affair with this woman who happens to be his teacher. Now, Miss Ferguson is married, okay? Now, allegedly, when Ferguson was impregnated by the student, when her husband found out, she immediately claimed that this kid raped her. Now, as you could look in the photos, you could see that they look kind of intimate with each other. You know, it's not that long ago that I was a teenager and a child. I never took a picture with a teacher like that. As you can see, you know, his hand is like kind of caressing her hip in kind of a like romantic relationship type of way. It doesn't seem like she's bothered by it. Now, she claimed that the student raped her, and Elijah Daniels sadly was arrested after her false claims, allegedly. He was charged with first-degree rape, and bond is set at $500,000. Now, if anyone knows anything about being bailed out, Mr. Daniels or his family is going to have to come up with at least 5 to 10% of that money. So I'm not a mathematician. I actually need to finish my math credits so I could graduate, and I hate math with a passion. I would say 5%, 10% of $500,000 is probably, I'll say 150K. But who knows? I mean, it's sad because he's an 18-year-old kid. He's still a child, you know? And right now, there's a lot of civil rights activists fighting for him. And Daniels, he's claiming his innocence. He's claiming that, hey, I did not rape this woman. I did not do anything. It was consensual. You know, we were messing around. And it's sad, you know. And this is why you should never, fellas out there, you should never mess with married women or with women with boyfriends in general. You know, you should never mess with married women because people will easily go and accuse you of rape or taking advantage of them, and you are guilty until proven innocent. Because when we all hear that story, myself, when I hear stories like that, I automatically take the woman's side. We all do it, you know, and sometimes there's women out there that do lie. And if Mr. Daniels is able to come out of this, I highly recommend that he sues Miss Ferguson. Sues her husband. I would sue. If I was him, if he has parents or anything out there, I would be trying to get some attorneys on the phone and say, hey, I want to countersue this woman for falsely accusing me of rape. Now, let me tell you about a story, because this happened to me when I was 20 years old. You know, I was involved with this girl, and, you know, she had a huge crush on my friend. And my friend was just egging her on and just, you know, pulling her along on a string, because secretly my friend that she had a crush on is a homosexual. But no one knew this but me. I knew my homeboy was gay, but she didn't. So what she was doing was that she was buying him clothes and, you know, basically just being, you know, he was her sugar baby pretty much. So he was enjoying the fruits of the labor. He was enjoying it. He was getting free gifts, free clothes, free True Religion jeans, you know, free Jordans, all that fancy good stuff that we love. And I guess, you know, she grew restless of this guy. So one night she decides to hit me up, right? And, you know, I'm a single dude at the time. She's Christmas Eve, going to this house party or whatever, because that's what we used to do back in the day when I was younger, go to house parties. And me and her ended up hooking up at the house party. We ended up having sex at the house party. And so it was all good. Everything was fine. And then when my homeboy found out and he asked her about it, guess what she decided to do with me? She decided to say, oh, Carter, he took advantage of me. We were drinking and, you know, I couldn't stop him. And he basically raped me. And my friend said, really? Carter raped you? She said, yeah, he took advantage of me. I couldn't stop him because I was too intoxicated. And it was a lie. It's a bald-faced lie. So my friend, who's the homosexual and just using this woman for her money, he decides to call me and talk to me crazy and call me a rapist and say that I'm going to go to jail, all of this crazy stuff. And I'm like, dude, I never did anything like that. Me and her, our actions was consensual. She wanted to have sex with me. I would never do something like that to a woman. You know, I come from a single mother household, so I would never want to hurt a woman or anything like that. I don't get down like that. And he didn't believe me. And I was telling him, I said, dude, I would not lie to you. I didn't do that. We had sex, but I did not rape her. I didn't do anything. So how I proved my innocence, you know, I had to become a little detective. And basically what I did was, you know, I kept her, I kept him on three-way. And I called her. And so I was talking to her and everything while he was on the other line. And I was talking to her saying, oh, yeah, did you enjoy the other night? You know, saying all that fugaziness. And she was like, oh, yeah, everything was great. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was all like, well, you know, you remember everything you did, right? She's like, yeah, everything was fine. And we should do it again. We should hook up maybe tomorrow night. I was like, okay, cool. So I didn't rape you. No, why would you say that? And then when she said that, my homeboy just bombarded and blew up the spot. He blew it up. He was like, oh, you lying trick, da-da-da-da-da. He was cussing her out. And basically, you know, I was looking at my phone saying, see, told you I wasn't lying. So the moral of the story is, you know, never mess with women that is involved with anyone, because they can easily lie on you and say, oh, yeah, you raped me. You did this to me. And then guess who's paying the price? Guess who's going to jail for 5 to 25 years? You are. You know, not the woman. She can just go on and live her life. But you know what? One day, she's going to have to answer to God for that. And it's sad that this kid is going through that because he barely just graduated high school and everything. It's truly sad. But, you know, my prayers go out to him, and I hope that his family can afford to get him some type of defense mechanisms and get him the attorneys that could prove his innocence, because he's an 18-year-old kid, and that'll suck, you know, fresh out of high school. And you go to jail for 25 years because this grown woman who's a teacher and a pedophile and a pervert, you know, she decides to have sex with you and her husband finds out. And now she wants to play the victim. But she's an adulterer. She broke one of the rules of marriage. And it's like, really? You know? Now, allegedly, I guess she had a baby. You know, the unborn baby is his baby. So, you know, it's like, okay, not only did you commit adultery, but you was impregnated and you had this child. So probably that's why she's claiming rape. So her husband can, you know, act like, oh, well, you were raped and, you know, you had this baby, but we're going to take care of it as our own. That's probably why she pulled that. But you got to watch these women out here. Not all of them. I don't want to overgeneralize, but you got to watch these women out here. You got to watch your back, fellas. And that goes for women, too. You got to watch your back with these fellas. You got to watch your back in general. I don't want to overgeneralize with the females. You know, I love women, but there's some promiscuous women out there that will take advantage of you, will sleep with you, and then when it comes back in her face, she's going to play the victim, say that you raped her and that you did all this stuff, and she didn't. And then you did it. She was down with it. So my prayers go out to that kid. Anyways, thank you for listening to another episode of the Lake Elsinore Special. I'm out.